How are we doing, guys? Moose here. Welcome back to episode number 55 of our West Ham United career mode. I hope you enjoyed the special little intro there. I had a couple more images. I'm recording this off the back of the West Ham Manchester United farewell bowl-in match, the last match ever at Upton Park, and what a match it was. I was actually jumping for joy. I mean, it brought tears out of my eyes. It was just an unbelievable match. The emotion on display was just fantastic. That's why I love West Ham United so much. But for us here in our West Ham United career mode, we've got some news that you guys suggested here, possibly coming up. Dybala debacle, and this is a suggested headline from a few of the people in the comments. West Ham fans were jumping with joy with the big signing of Leon Hitman Alexander Lacazette, and the striker has hit the ground running with some spectacular performances for the Irons. However, his arrival has meant Paulo Dybala has slid from that striker role back to an attacking number 10 slot, sitting in as a second striker and playing second fiddle to the informed Lacazette. Pundits have wondered if this has signaled discontent from the Argentine, but he's kept up his fantastic form and provided both assists and goals aplenty since the recent role change. When asked if he was unhappy with the new role, Dybala said, "I'm enjoying my football. The manager's put us in the best role to succeed, and I just want to try and get West Ham to the Champions League and a Premier League title. I actually like being able to pick up the ball more often and run at the defense, so playing this way has let me enjoy my football. Obviously, scoring goals is fantastic, but if the results keep coming, then everyone will be enjoying the football." So that's what Paulo had to say, obviously, regarding his recent role change. He's dropped behind Lacazette in terms of who's playing closest to the goal, but it's really led to just some great play from the team since Lacazette's joined, and we can see that we have been marching up the Premier League ladder trying to catch and pull Chelsea back from behind, possibly for a Premier League title, which would be unbelievable. And we can see Leon Goretzka's gone up to 80 overall, which is fantastic from training. Kiate will be out for the next match because of suspension, and Ogbonna will be out with a bruised shoulder for 9 days, so we'll have to contend with that in our next matchup. We've also got a couple of youth scout reports. So we see Mike Njiland has come in from Norway, I believe. Unbelievable scout potential prospect. He's got 94 plus overall, so he could be someone we're going to try and get into the first team as soon as we can. Looks to be very, very good. But we come up against Middlesbrough here. We're going to run out our typical 4-2-3-1 formation. Andre Correa's coming off the back of a hat trick in the last episode against Bournemouth, and then he, of course, created the opening goal against Manchester City, which was an own goal that led to us to a couple victories last episode, which kept us on pace with the Blues as we're trying to run them down. We're sitting just 3 points behind them with 3 matches to go. We're taking on a Middlesbrough side that is in the relegation places, but only a -2 goal differential, and they're in 19th position. So they've had a run of awful luck. They've got Stuani, who's been scoring goals for fun, 4th in the Premier League, just behind Dybala, who's 3rd with 15 goals. So he's looking to try and catch Thomas Muller, who's leading the league in goals. So we are going to try and combat them and come from behind in that way, obviously. Middlesbrough, they're looking to fight back out of the relegation place. If they come away with a couple of late wins here at the end of the season, they might be able to crawl themselves out. But we've got Payet on the left-hand side getting back in the starting lineup for the unfit Antonio. Dybala's just behind Lacazette. Correa looking to continue his fantastic form in front of goal lately. He's been cutting in from that right-hand side and been absolutely lethal. Middlesbrough, of course, they have Stuani, the goal scorer up front, with Stuart Downing, of course, the former man who used to pull the strings at West Ham United that one season when Allardyce led us to 4th in the first half of the campaign. Then we collapsed and finished, I think, 12th in the league after a horrendous second half. We've come in, though. We've joined up with assistant manager Slaven Bilic, and it's led to some absolute domination of the Premier League for us. We've finished just, with a rampant season last year. I don't know why I'm drawing on a blank. We were either 5th or 6th. I think we were 6th. And we are in hot form this year, and you have to wonder, are the stars aligned for us coming away with a Premier League title, chasing Chelsea down from behind? Because we finished 6th, excuse me. That's why we didn't have European football, because of the way the remaining cups fell. Sorry for that little brain fart. But Middlesbrough, they try and play the ball out really cutely at the back. He chips the ball over his own goalkeeper and puts it in the empty net. So are the stars aligned? Is the fix in? You might even wonder. The way Middlesbrough put that so almost blatantly into their own net is absolutely ridiculous, and we take an early 1-0 lead. Payet played through on an unbelievable ball from Mark Noble over the top. Comes forward, has a really good shot, but stopped by Kritsiak for Middlesbrough. And it was all West Ham United here in the early going into the 23rd minute. Now Gorska takes the ball and plays it to Mark Noble, who strikes it from 30 yards away, 35 yards even maybe, and it's just inches away from beating the Middlesbrough keeper on the volley. It was a lovely, lovely strike. But Carrillo's played through on a fantastic ball from Dybala here that plays him throughout wide. He's got tons of pace, looks to take on the defender. He's got Lacazette at the back post, lays it back for Dybala though. The Argentinian takes a couple of touches and somehow misses the net there. He should have put that away. That's a clinical chance you'd expect someone who's third in the Premier League in scoring to finish. No doubt about it. But unfortunately he misses. Middlesbrough then make us pay, and it was that man, Stuart Downing, who's gone back to his hometown club, the team, his boyhood club, the team that he came up with before moving to the likes of Aston Villa, Liverpool, West Ham. He's gone back to Borough, and he's brought them into the Premier League, and he's trying to keep them there. It's a lovely finish. He's played through, and it's a rocket of a strike on goal and beats our keeper, unfortunately. Beats Jackie Butland, and so we do see equalize as we go towards the end of the first half here. The Dybala dances around a couple of defenders, does really well, skips past the defense, and it's a good save by the Borough keeper to keep us out. And we get into the second half now. 56th minute. Gabriel's come on the right hand side, dances around with a lovely roulette skill move, gets past two defenders, goes to strike it, and somehow the ball's escaped his feet. But that standing roulette was unbelievable. What a move. Dybala playing Lacazette through here as we're looking to find our second goal. Lacazette dances through two defenders. He's brought down by the backside defender, and thankfully for us, it is a penalty. Lacazette goes down clutching his legs, and is a red card for the defender. Absolutely rash tackle from Damia to bring down Alexander Lacazette. It's definitely a penalty as he takes down the French hitman, and we will go to the penalty spot looking to take the advantage and continue it with it as we will be man up. He takes Lacazette out. Looks like he may have hurt his knee though, so we're going to have to keep an eye on any potential injury to our star striker. Mark Noble, though, our skipper, is going to be the man to step up and take it, and it's in the top corner. He just does not miss penalties. He had a run where I think he missed 2 in a row, and I've never seen him do that ever. So he's back into top form, and we do take a 2-1 advantage in about the 68th minute of the match. So we just have to see it out for 20 more minutes and come away with 3 more points in our crucial title chase. Lovely finish from Marky Noble. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And Middlesbrough, they have to be dejected after playing, staying in the match for this long. And then Noble with his 6th goal in the Premier League. That's unbelievable. 6 goals this year. Of course, he's had a couple of 2-goal matches, the most memorable being the one against Manchester United, which was so fantastic. 6 goals. I read this was an interesting stat. Noble has 6 goals actually this year for real in the Premier League. That is as many goals as Jack Wilshere scored his entire life in the Premier League. Noble has that this year, and Mark Noble still hasn't gotten to the England team. So Noble for England, I'm just throwing it out there, but what a man he is. We strike from range here with Aldair, who's come on as a substitute in the 89th minute, but forces a really good save out of the Middlesbrough keeper. And the sloppiest of defending I've ever seen, and things go awry in the 90th minute, and was that man, the former Hammer, Stuart Downing, at his former ground, comes on and scores 2 goals and gives Middlesbrough an equalizer, and that could be a vital point in them trying to survive. James Tompkins, he's West Ham through and through, and he comes on. Unfortunately, he's just too excited about the match. He comes on, he completely misses the ball. Winston Reid misses as well, goes right to Downing on the backside of the defense. He's all alone, and he beats the onrushing Butland, and it does steal our spare Middlesbrough's blushes, steals a point from us, and unfortunately, we will have to share the spoils. We deserve the win. Middlesbrough dominated possession, but it's because we were playing to hit him on the counter, and unfortunately just didn't come off for us. Man of the match for me was Mr. West Ham himself, the Cockney Perlo, Mark Noble. 2 points, mooses my hair points for Aaron Cresswell, and 1 mooses my hammer point for Reece Oxford, who I thought did very well in terms of starting for the injured Angelo Ogbonna. I thought he played fantastic. So Noble with another really good performance. Unfortunately, it doesn't lead us to a victory. And Lacazette, thankfully for us, it looked like he had a knee injury. If you watch the replays, clutching his knee, but it says bruised elbow. He's out for 5 days. Pyatt's got a bruised shoulder. He'll be out for 5 days. So we do have a couple injuries to contend with. Dominic Iorfa sprained his knee, and he'll be out for 4 weeks. That's the most significant of the injuries, but thankfully for us, he's only a deputy. Vanderveer will be back in the starting lineup. And we do have to deal with Reece Oxford, Rashford picked up yellow card accumulation, so he'll be out of the next match, but thankfully Ogbonna should be ready to return, and we won't have to worry about him for an injury. We decided to start training up our youngster Najiland, the Norwegian. Hopefully we can get him off to a fan, or I think he's Dutch. I can't even remember. He's something with a red and white and blue and goofy looking flag. So if we look at the table here, Middlesbrough 2 matches ago, they can climb out of the bottom 3 potentially, and thankfully for us, that draw has not harmed us as of yet, because Chelsea drew their match, which means they're still only 3 points ahead of us with 2 matches to go. So it could set up an absolutely grandstand finale if we win and they lose our penultimate matches of the season. Ours will be against Queen's Park Rangers away at Loftus Road. So it's going to be a really, really big match, taking on a team that's already relegated. Queen's Park Rangers, they're down. They're in 20th. There's no chance of them getting out of the relegation zone. So all they can play for is to try and spoil our season. We're hoping to prevent that from happening. So we need a win. We're on 71 points. Win would get us to 74, and obviously a big win would be really helpful so we can try and nail down Chelsea's goal differential if we have to hope for tying them in points. But Lacazette's been hot form for us. 13 appearances, 10 goals for us in the Premier League this season. It's been unbelievable. Can't beat that. QPR, of course, they don't have Charlie Austin in the lineup, so we won't have to worry about that. Shereen, Junior Hoylett, Adam Johnson is at Queen's Park Rangers now. So, I mean, they have some talented players, but ones that will definitely look to dominate. Former West Ham man Rob Green in goal, of course. For us, Butland's in goal, Vandervelde and Bonner Reed, and Cresswell across the back line. Chiante back in the starting lineup for Gortko, who moves to the bench with Noble in the lineup. Carrillo, Antonio comes back for the injured Payet. Dybala starting, and Lacazette on short fitness. We need him in the lineup, and so he will be playing. Vandervelde, of course, showing off some silky skills. He danced past the defender with a roulette. Dybala with a lovely ball roll to beat another man. Skips inside 2 defenders. Can he play the ball? And he finds Carrillo, and Andre Carrillo is a goal-scoring machine. What a finish from the Peruvian. He's just an absolute wonder. He's the 8th wonder of the world, is Andre Carrillo. Lovely skill from Vandervelde. Finds Dybala, who dances around a couple of defenders. We talked about how good his dribbling is, how much he said he loves running at the defense. We saw that in the Hammers headlines, and he's living up to that. He runs at the defense, finds Carrillo in space, doesn't even take a touch of the ball, just hits it first time, beats Rob Grant in the back of net. We've got a very early lead. What a way to start things off here away from home to keep us in line chasing Chelsea. And Carrillo's got 6 goals. He's got 4 goals in his last 3 matches, so or 3 or 4 matches, so he's really come out of nowhere. But Dybala, he's hit an absolute screamer. I want to do that justice. What a finish from Paulo Dybala. It's come out of absolutely nothing. We just talked about how well Carrillo's been playing, but that guy Dybala with goal of the season material. Queen's Park Rangers throw the ball in. Antonio wins the header actually from the throw-in. Dybala takes 1 touch and just boshes it from range on the half volley, loops it over the head of Rob Green. That is a stunning goal. I mean, Mark Noble had what I thought was goal of the season against Manchester United earlier. This could top it. That goal from Dybala is an absolute stunner from range. It gives him 16 on the season. It's been an unbelievable debut campaign for the Argentine, and he has been just one of the best players in the world, in my opinion. So we're going to have a hard time holding on to him in the summer. But with Champions League football looming, possibly an FA Cup title, which will be the next episode, possibly a Premier League title, if we can somehow come from behind against Chelsea and steal that away, Paulo Dybala will be just the most wanted man in the world. And he's just doing everything here. He plays the ball in for Chiante, and Cheku Chiante with a beautifully weighted header loops into the top corner, beats Rob Green. It's 3-0 just like that. Paulo Dybala is the wonder kid. He's that guy. He is the guy that we rely on creating our offense. He's that man. He's Payet from last season. He's Payet from this season in real life. That's the kind of player he is. He's the absolute talisman that really pulls the strings on our team and does everything for us. It's an unbelievable ball, and Chiante wins the header and puts it right in the corner for his 4th goal of the campaign in the Premier League. Chiante's been an unsung hero for us, really. It's understated how much we missed him in midfield against Middlesbrough. He was just so good. Jack Butland does really well to come out and take away the angle on a Queen's Park Rangers chance late on in the first half, as they finally seem to get their legs under him this late on. But Butland stands tall, makes a couple of really nice saves to keep things as they stand. And for a 3-0 lead, Jack Butland's had to do very, very well for us. He's another unsung hero. He's done so well, does well to keep that ball away from goal as Sandro tries to loop it on net. But that's all we can say. Payet, though, comes on as a substitute. We know he's nursing an injury, so he comes on and nearly puts a goal in from quite a distance away, almost beats Rob Green. We know what kind of free kick wizard Payet is, so we give him that chance. Unfortunately, he does miss the net, but another really good chance as Ogbonna lets the ball through, and Jack Butland and Van der Wiel come together, and Van der Wiel actually blocks it and makes the final save, and that would be all she wrote. A domineering, just perfect pinpoint 3-goal performance that gets us the 3 points and sends us hopefully into the final match of the campaign with at least a chance of catching Chelsea. It would be unbelievable. So anything other than a Chelsea win by like a bunch of goals that would really just kill us in goal difference at least will get us into that final match with a chance. Man of the match for me, Paulo Dybala, no question about it. He's been our player of the season, in my opinion. He's going to get man of the match. 3 Moose to Mighty Hammer points. 2 for Jack Butland, who was fantastic again. Like I said, he's been an unsung hero. And 1 point goes to Angelo Ogbonna, who was an absolute rock coming back from injury. Michail Antonio, though, we get some horrible luck. He will miss the remainder of the season. He's broken his toe. That's why Payet came on, and he'll be out for 2 months. So that is absolutely devastating. We won't have a guy who's been so lethal for us on the left side going into the FA Cup and going into the final match of the season. So we will miss him dearly, but it means Dimitri Payet, we've got Payet. He could come in and be that impact player in our final 2 matches of the season if he gets that chance. So the final thing here we can see back from injury is Dominic Iorfa, as we are getting ready for the FA Cup final in the next match, and it will be live thanks to you guys' vote. So thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's greatly appreciated, and I thank you guys so much for the support. Leave any suggestions for Hammers headlines in the comments if you have any, and as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Like we always do with this time. I got to shine.